Hi, everybody. It's Ben with Ben's Brick Design. Good morning. It's Sunday, 10 o'clock. Welcome to the stream. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties with my second laptop that provides music and allows me to see the chat. So I don't really see anybody in chat, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to wait for a little bit for everybody to get in, for those who are going to get in. Yeah, so not a lot going on right now. Kind of a busy day, but always time for Lego. I got a mock that got built for our lug meeting this afternoon, so I'll show that here in a second. I've got a fun letter to read from a store that is now one of my favorite Bricklink stores. A contest-winning prize that I got. We've got some building to do, and a little surprise at the end for those who have followed along with the microfighters and whatnot. So yeah, thanks for being here. Again, if you can join in on Twitch versus YouTube or Facebook, that'd be fantastic. I know Twitch isn't as great a platform. Sometimes there seems to be some lag or something like that. I'd appreciate it though. It helps me get towards the affiliate goal, which I don't think I'm ever going to get because I found out the numbers on it. And it's not just having more than 3 viewers at a time. You have to do that like on average for a month. So it's probably going to take me a while. Yeah, this computer is just not restarting. I'm just going to, oh, there we go. About time. So anyway, welcome to it. First, I'm going to start off by reading this great letter. And I don't know if they send this letter out every time. You can see it's from Brickin' It Up. It's just a Bricklink store. It says, "Welcome back, Ben. They're here. Your new Lego elements have been gently taken from our Brickin' It Up shelves with sterilized, contamination-free gloves and placed onto a satin pillow. A team of 51 employees inspected your pieces using the same microscope that diamond cutters use to inspect the highest quality diamonds and polish them to make sure they were in the best possible condition before mailing." 1 second, I'm going to log in here. "Our packing specialist from Bill in Denmark lit a candle and a hush fell over the crowd as he put your order into the finest bubble mailer that money can buy. We all had a wonderful celebration afterwards, and the whole party marched down the street to the post office, where the entire town of Buckeye waved bon voyage to your package on its way to you in our private Brickin' It Up jet on this day," and then they include the date. "Hey, Sleepy Kodiak. I hope you had a wonderful time shopping at Brickin' It Up. We sure did. Your picture is on our wall of customer of the biennium." They crossed out year. "We're all exhausted, but can't wait for you to come back to Brickin' It Up. Ecstatically, on behalf of the Brickin' It Up team, including our guy from Denmark, Kevin." So, if you can support Brickin' It Up on Bricklink, that'd be fantastic. They obviously love Lego and they love doing what they do. This isn't something that you have to do as a store that sells Lego, but it's very nice and it makes you feel like you're part of the community. So that's great. Okay, so this machine's rebooted and I have to close out a bunch of other stuff like I don't want Teams running. Brickin' It Up, I'll check them out. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and close this so I may miss a few things in chat for a hot second while I bring it up here. Don't need that. Close tabs, restream, chat, and Spotify. Get some music going here. The other thing I got was this is from the Banthas, Bricks for Banthas, Banthas for Bricks. I just looked it up. It's just a Facebook group. Bantha Bricks, fans of Star Wars Legos. It's just a Facebook group. But the guy who runs it Stephen Smith does a lot of good charity work, and he does a lot of work to keep the community engaged. He shares stuff on Twitter and Instagram, runs contests. They're in the middle of like a battle royale style tournament where everybody builds some sort of Star Wars-y artillery piece, and then everybody votes on their favorite. So that's going on. So they also have like month of the year winners or monthly membership drawings, and this one was to win a Darth Momin from Big Kid Bricks. Now, Big Kid Bricks is another, I haven't even taken it out. I don't think I ever will. Nicely packed, right? And it's cotton coffin. Big Kid Bricks is a purveyor and maker of custom minifigures, and you can see that the hilts on the lightsabers are pretty cool. I like those a lot. There's a lot of detail in here that's really nice. I don't know what his face looks like underneath there, but he does have, I don't know if you can really see close up, but the red eyes. I'd like to open it up and see what his face looks like, but I almost don't want to take it out of the packing. Anyway, so I won August member of the month on the Facebook group, so I got one of these. So that was very cool. Let's see what else is going on. So I also have a build, and this is going to go on our Lego user group has monthly builds. Sometimes we'll get seed parts, but because we haven't really been able to meet in person, we don't have seed parts to hand out, and they're trying to figure out a way to do that. So now, since like March, we've been doing this is a suggested theme, and we've done, build a letter that's 25, stands on its own, it's 25 bricks high, do the map of Texas, do some other, I can't remember what else we did. Anyway, so this is one of the ones that was this month's theme is to build a zoo. Everybody picks an animal or, hi Lego Geek, how are you doing? Everybody builds a 16 by 16 plate with a 4 by 4 walkway in front of it, and then there's an animal enclosure, and you pick an animal and build an enclosure. Well, knowing I don't have many animals, I said I will build a concession stand or an ice cream stand or the entrance or the ticket booth or something. So I ended up building an ice cream stand. So this is my ice cream stand. It's, I don't know, we'll call it Yeti ice cream, even though that's a Wampa. I thought I had more stickers from the ice cream truck from the Lego Movie 2 to put on like the front facing here that just says ice cream and then on the sides and stuff. But I couldn't find them. This was the only piece from that menu from the front. That's the only thing I could find from that. I thought I kept the stickers in the instructions, but I can't find them. So here's the back. That's how they get in. There's a little electric meter and an AC bit up top because it's a very small enclosure. Got a little kid wanting some ice cream, right? Kind of got like a jungle vibe with a snow beast on the top. There is an inside, but it's not as fleshed out as I want it to be. There's a lady at the cashier, or at the cash register, and a little freezer for the ice cream in the back there. I might go back and put a sink in this side if I can have some time between now and then. I can't really get the light in there. Anyway, so that was fun. Yeah, so that's the mock. And that's kind of it. So we're going to get back into building. We're building what's this called again? The T-6, the Jedi Shuttle, the Jedi T-6 Shuttle. So we're just going to get back into it. Hopefully get this done by the end of this run. I'm going to put the figures up here for now. A bit of a sonder this morning. What's a sonder? Oh, anybody who's Jewish out there, make sure to call your mother. Or Catholic. Or if you have a mom. All right, so when we left off, there were these weird slidey pieces, and I don't like them. Right? There's a bit of delay here. I'm not really liking the delay on the camera, but figure that out when we get to it. All right. back into it. So, got that piece in. All right. So yeah, after this is our Lego user group meeting for TechSlug. Don't know what our theme is going to be this month, but whatever it is, it'll be fun to build. I am taking a week off, not this coming week, but the following week, and I may do streaming like every day, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I may do like middle of the day streams, like a couple hours maybe each day, and get do some building, some sorting, parting. I'll do some parting out of microfighters, that kind of thing. Should be fun. So if any of my coworkers know what my channel is, they'll at least be able to see what I'm doing during that week. Because it's not like I'm going anywhere. They really just slide in there like that? I don't... There's got to be something else for that. There really isn't. Yeah, I don't understand why they slide like that. Does anybody know the reason they do that? It seems like there would be a... I don't know. We'll get to the end and I'm sure it'll be made clear. At least I hope. Hi, Jerry. So, that's a bit loud. Let me, I'll go through that store and find out the receipt that I got from, it may have been called something different. Yeah, it just says bricking it up. But I will look it up shortly and see what it actually is, because sometimes their store names are different from what they call themselves, which is really weird, or their mailing address is different. They call themselves one thing, and then, like, the store name is, you know, Slow Toys, and then the actual store is Kentuckiana Bricks, and you're like, well, what is it? Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So today is Beth and my 6-year anniversary. We are not married yet. We're engaged, but 6 years ago, did the doorbell just ring? We went on our first date together. So tonight we're going to celebrate by having a fancy dinner. And I'm going to check the door. I think I heard the doorbell ring. Oh, it was a delivery. Yeah, okay, I'll get that later. USPS truck on Sunday, man. You can't tell me we don't need the USPS. We need to not neuter it. It's going to be terrifying if we ever lose the post office. Easily entertained by Brick in My Heart. Yeah. Some of those store names are super creative. I love it. There's one I just got a shipment for, some dark orange for my big old build, and it was called Slow Shipper. And man, they lived up to their name. I was like, when is this order getting here? Goodness. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so we're going to order from an Ethiopian restaurant here in our city that we like a lot, and we're trying to patron more because they're a locally owned black business. And it's one of our favorite restaurants. The food is very, very good. I don't know if it'll translate well when we get it on like Uber Eats, but we'll see. It's just very tasty and very tasty. Good spices, good consistency, good choices. Although I do have a complaint about the restaurant. Every time I go, there's a specific Ethiopian beer that I want to try, and I'm sure it's not the best beer in the world or anything, but at the same time, I'm like, I'd like to try it. And every time they're like, oh yeah, we're out. I'm like, come on. ×2. Thanks. Two rules I've learned in life: don't mess with the people who handle your food, and don't mess with the people who handle your mail. Yes. Hey, Beth? Beth?
Yeah?
The doorbell rang and a mail truck was here. Were you expecting something?
I mean, I'm always,
This is the time of mail deliveries.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm always expecting something. You guys send it out, sorry.
That's okay.
At least the dogs were outside. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I heard the doorbell, and then I was like, that can't be the doorbell. It sounded really faint.
Ooh, I think I got some clothes.
Clothes? Where'd you order clothes from?
Amazon.
Oh.
Ordered some clothes for our pictures.
Oh, that dress. Yep. So speaking of things that were ordered, my children texted me, and by the way, I want to mention this is a Will Heron original, so willheron.com. Look him up. I don't think you can get this one specifically, but he does some good shirts, so check him out. So my kids texted me. Yeah, that's very true, Kodiak. My kids texted me yesterday and were like, is this something you want? And apparently there was which reminds me, I need to text all my friends about that heater. Hey, yeah, I like that. That is very you. Yeah. Do you think anybody wants that heater, that space heater that was on garage sale, that propane one that they were selling? The garage sale that I got the thing from, they also had like one of those 6-foot backyard propane heaters. Do you think any of our friends would like one of those? All right, I'm going to text people.
I don't know who would want one in Texas.
Well, for the winter.
That's true.
I mean, I was thinking about getting it. I was going to ask them how much, but yeah. So the same place that had this heater that we were just discussing, they had a PSVR for sale, and my kids texted me and they're like, "Didn't you want one of these?" I'm like, because my son's got an Oculus Quest, and that's weird how they do it like that. And I love playing Beat Saber with him, and I wanted to get Vader Immortal and all this stuff. And so he texted me and was like, "Do you want this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do, but I don't know how much they're asking for it, and I don't really feel like going to a garage sale during a pandemic. And I'm saving up for a wedding." And he's like, "All right." So I messaged them and I was like, "How much are you asking for this?" And they're like, $200. I was like, "Okay." And I thought it was $200 for just the thing, and they're like, "It comes with everything." See, and now that's stuck in there. Oh. I bet something else goes in here, and pushes those back. I bet. Okay, I'm gonna settle down about that. So I messaged them, and for $200 you get the thing, you get the controllers, you get all the cabling, you get the charging station, the 3 games. She's like, "This is basically brand new. We got it. We maybe used it twice, and we just don't want it now." I'm like, "Okay." So that's like a $350 bundle. So I basically got it for $200, which is almost half off, about 2/3 off, or a third off. But still, I'm like, so I went over and bought it. I'm like, I didn't need to do that. But now I have a PlayStation VR, so now I can get Beat Saber. There's a step I missed in here somewhere. Yeah, I totally missed that step. Oh, where is that? Oh, that was a while ago. So I'm excited to play it, but it looks like it's a lot of setup and a lot of cabling. And I'm also going to let it sit for a few days and kind of decontaminate on its own. So, plus I have other things I need to do. And playing the games that came with the bundle is not one of them, as much as I want to. It's a big middle engine section. My goodness, what's going on in there? Back engine section's coming together nicely. Very solid. One second, I will be right back. And he's back. Okay. We go lay the law down on the dogs a little bit. They were getting unruly. I recommend the cabling pulley mounted to the ceiling. Anytime I've been playing VR, the cabling is surprisingly heavy and weighs on your neck very quickly. It's also super easy to get tangled in, so mounting just a little bungee pulley might help you out. That's a good call, man. I appreciate that. I'm excited too because this is going to be, hopefully I can do this seated a little bit because when Squadrons comes out, there's a VR component to that. I think there's currently a Battlefront VR for just like Starfighter Assault. So I want to check that out too if it's not too much. This is not a piece that, okay, these I can buy are extra, right? I can get that these are extra. This was for the mock I was doing earlier. So hopefully, yeah. All right, so bag number 2. I'm also a little worried because the space that I'm going to be doing it in, or viewing space, the video game TV room space is not, it's probably 6 feet deep. It's not very far back from the TV, so I'm worried that there's going to be drift and I'm going to end up punching the TV. So I think it's going to be like a very one-off, because I'm going to have to move the table out of there and all that kind of stuff. So that's a very interesting piece. I don't do a lot of Technic, so having this piece is kind of interesting. I'd be interested to know where the sound comes from. Oops. But yeah, so I'm hoping the VR component for Squadrons is basically a seated position where you don't have to like stand up and move around a lot, but you can just kind of sit and move your head, and you know that's all the component. That's all the VR bit for that is. And it's not like Vader Immortal where you're like walking around and doing a bunch of stuff. And so I'm excited. I think it'll be a fun dodge, bit of fluff. Not really something to, you know, spend a lot of money on, but I'm glad I got it. Not trying to talk myself back into it. No buyer's remorse or anything. Well, this bag is going to go quick. And flip. A former friend of mine also mounted his TV in the other room, letting people watch without the user causing damage to the screen. Yeah, it was fun watching. My son has, like I said, he has the Oculus. You basically just have it on your phone, and but then you can cast it to another phone to watch, so you can watch what they're seeing. Or you can cast it to your phone. The Oculus is its own thing. So that's kind of fun when he's doing Beat Saber, and it's a really challenging when you get to watch him freaking out on something. You guys are like sharks. There's no food in here. Stop circling. Oh, these dogs. Allie's tumor is getting bigger. Kevin is getting bigger. But she's having pretty good days lately, so I'm not looking forward to the next few months with her, but it is what it is. I'm kind of sad about what's going to happen soon. She's definitely not going to make it to the wedding. Flip again. That's interesting. I wonder why those trans player pieces are in those corners like that. Interesting. Yeah, the tumor's name is Kevin. Kevin is growing. Kevin's the size of almost a grapefruit now. Nothing we can do about it. So just learn to kind of, live and make fun of. You have to laugh because otherwise you'll cry. Three of these. This almost feels like the design for my owl wings. It's like it's very cool, nice stripes and stuff up top, and then you turn it over and it's like really underdeveloped. Yeah, exactly like that. What the what? I didn't know you could do that with that. That's pretty cool. So, because of the circle on that, you can just kind of jam that in between the studs. So that's a neat technique. There's a way that could be done. Nice little, I guess not greebling, but a nice little textural thing. Uh-oh, sticker time. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do stickers on this. I think these are the older stickers, so I'm not really sure. Ooh, and they're not numbered. Yeah, these are definitely older stickers. Okay, these look like I can apply them later, so if it looks really bad without it later, there's only that one, and then this one. So that's not too many. I think I might pull it off, because I think it'll be fine without it. All right. Do some big old technical bits here. Now this looks like it's smooth on the outside. It doesn't have these, it doesn't show that it has these divots, but I'm going to go ahead and click this in here and it'll never come out again. I'm pretty sure that there's a way to get that out of there, but I'm never going to find it. And it's not clicking either, it's just rotating. I thought it might click. Yeah, make her comfortable. Lego's sort of kind of famous for not finishing the bottom. Oh, let me tell you the first, that's my biggest gripe about all the early Star Wars stuff. It's just like kind of cool on the top, and then underneath, completely flat. Like flat to the point where you could attach it to a base plate. The Gungan sub was one of the worst. It's just this giant triangle of flat plates. It's like, you guys did nothing for this. Okay, so like that. Right. Because this ship is notorious for having a stationary cockpit and engine block with the wing that rotates in the middle of it. These two have to stay the same, so it has to be able to rotate here. The Mandalorian fighter also has that, which is why it was very hard to design as a microfighter, because you have to have the front and back stay stationary, but have something in the middle that rotates without it rotating like just spinning like loose. It has to be able to stay, and so there's some design aspects that got a little troubling. The Stinger Mantis was okay to do because I found out I could put a bar in between those big, like, for lack of a better term, knee joints. With the big circle and the lift arms on either side, you could put a bar in the middle of it. And there's enough clutch on that bar that it holds it still at that size, at a microfighter size. I do have a design for the T-6, but I'm pretty sure it won't work that way. And then the Mandalorian fighter, I do have a design for the Mandalorian fighter. It was somebody else's, and I reverse engineered it. And it looks cool, but it's huge. It's like this big for a microfighter. And I'm like, because you have to be able to have a figure seated, right? And then you have to have the wings on either side be able to rotate around the figure, because the wings jut forward, right? And that was just really hard to do, and I don't like the way it came out. So that's on my list to go back and redo. What would be considered greebling? The stickers? Yeah, greebling. Hang on. Crunchy noises, sorry. Greebling is pretty much purely aesthetic. Like, there's no reason for a lot. Like, if you look at any Star Destroyer up close, there's all kinds of pipes and vents and coverings and places where plates come together, but there's some stitching or there's some sort of gasket or something. A lot of that, I'm sure, in-universe has a purpose, but when you're building a Lego set, you're like, I don't know, just throw some junk on it. That's greebling. It gives it some texture. And it's hard to do greebling on a microfighter size because every square centimeter of the ship you have is spoken for, really. Yeah, that's still a really cool build, man. I really like that. It's unique and it looks like it was well planned. But yeah, there's some areas that are like, this looks boring right here. I'm going to put a 1x1 grill, or there's no reason to have just this solid piece right here. So put 2 of those grill bricks in it like that, you know. Probably serves no real purpose to have those grill bricks. God, that's bright and washed out. So you just fill it with stuff just to make it look interesting. Yeah, well planned. Like, it looks like some thought went into some of the structure of it. You just didn't like haphazardly kind of throw it together. At least I thought so. I also am kind of a sucker for mechs. I'm not really a mech designer. That's a little beyond me for some reason. But I would love to be able to do that. So anytime I see something that has articulation and can stand on its own, I'm kind of in awe of it. My phone is buzzing. I should turn that off. Yeah, and there was an argument, channel Fazoom, another YouTube Lego person, had a discussion on their channel recently with some fellow builders and streamers about whether digital designs were considered mocks. It was kind of a weird question, and I was like, what? Of course they are. You created them. And one guy was he was adamant that they weren't. You know, it's like, because anybody can throw something together and it's Lego art. You know, he's like, it's fine, it's art, but I wouldn't consider it a mock. I'm like, I really didn't want to get into it, so I was just kind of like, well, I'm gonna leave. But I can see where they were coming from, because they kept saying, or this one guy kept saying that, he's like, I looked at a lot of these models, and people, you know, I can see from just looking at it, those parts don't exist in that color. It's like, but there are some of us who do make digital models that we go to great lengths to make sure that those parts exist in those colors. Because otherwise, you know, I'm doing digital models so I can see what I need to order. So if I do a disservice to myself or to other people who might want to order it later, that there's no, you know, I'm sorry that you may like this model, but you can't do it in this color. And there is a designer who does a lot of microfighters, and he puts them up on. Oh, hey, Erica. Yeah, shirtlessness. Sorry. Get back to me about 2 months after we've been doing our beach body program and eating better. Nobody wants to see this. Nobody. There has to be all kinds of shaving going on and manscaping and And if you have to, make sure to keep Link away because that'll scar him for life. And I'm not going to pay for his therapy bills. I'm sorry. Oh, and if you guys need boxes, make sure to let us know. We just got a bunch more boxes for some other stuff. Wedding registry, people are already like wedding registry gifting us stuff, so we've got boxes out the wazoo. Building with only life like you might have missing a piece. Perfect for your design, but you don't think because you don't know it. That's very true, and a lot of cases I will be building. I'm getting so paranoid about the ones that I use. It would look nicer if I had a certain piece, and I don't own that piece. So, that was already on there. So I design basically to be able to order stuff later. So I took a bit of umbrage to it. I mean, I see their point when people are just doing digital to do digital and say, look at this thing that I designed. I understand that. And that's, you know, that's digital art at that point. But I still feel like if I'm doing something that I'm going to build later, this is my mock. It's my own creation. Nobody else did it. Technically, any art is a mock because it's your own creation. We were filling the pod today to get rid of everything that we don't need for staging. Got it. Yeah, one of these days I might do a Bert Kreischer episode where I just show up without a shirt on. But I'm pretty sure I would get kicked off of YouTube. Twitch, I don't know about. But YouTube, I'm pretty sure they'd go, yeah, no. Although a dude without a shirt, it's just a dude without a shirt. So, I don't know. I may be somewhat fearless, but I'm not that fearless. Anything exists on a scale, nothing black and white, even zebras have some gray. Yes, yes. You can tell what era of Star Wars instructions this is because it has that creepy Darth Vader head watching you from the top. I find your building skills impressive. Most impressive. We're blazing through this. I don't know what I'm going to do for another 45 minutes when this is done. Is that everything that's there? Yep. Yeah, that's stickers now. Aha. I can already tell there's even a little sag on that, but I get it. Yeah, you can totally tell what era that's from, right? Stickers don't have numbers on them. There's a creepy Sith Lord watching you from, and it's weird because it's not on every page. It's just like, it was just right there. Just on like these last couple pages. That's it. So he just pops in to say hi, and you're like, ah. No, nothing goes in there. That's frustrating. I don't know. All right, cockpit, and then we're done, right? Put this over here. If I'd known this wasn't going to take that long, I just would have finished last time. I even padded the front of it talking about other stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to like give it the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. Like I feel like I'm missing something, but there aren't any other parts. So it's not like I missed a step or something. Ooh. Oh, it's tan, it's not gold. I got excited for a second. I was like, it's gold. Look at these gold pieces. I mean, that looks gold. It doesn't look tan. Ah, what are you gonna do? The docu page usually have a few diagrams showing the features of the build. Yeah. It's almost like you put stuff in there and it pops it out or something. But I don't know. Oh, that's exactly what it is. Because it's going to have these stupid flick missiles on it. I bet you. Oh, so can we talk about Umbrella Academy now? I haven't finished it, but I'm 4 episodes in. Exciting. Super great. Weird. This cockpit is all cattywampus. Dog smart at it again. So this is one of the subtle kind of internal builds that nobody gets to see because it'll be covered by a canopy. I appreciate that. Those little blue lights under there. Also interesting is the use of these log pieces internally here just to give it, again, some more texture. Wait for that to focus. It's not going to focus. There's a little bit of focus there. You could have just put 2x2 bricks there, but... Yep. They're very good for greebling. I'm glad they come in gray. Oh, damn. Yeah, this might be a short stream. Didn't think of... I thought this would take a lot longer. I'll have to take a look at the cockpit again in the show because they do, in Clone Wars, they do have this cockpit available to see a couple times, I'm pretty sure. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a bunch of lights up top and if the bridge is built like this. Because it should be a two-person, from what I remember, it's a two-person seater. So it'll be interesting to see if I can cram two figures into this. Well, I'll pad it out 30 minutes. We'll think of something to do. But yeah, then after this, I've got to go do some adult stuff too, do some cleaning. Not for very long though, because I've got a Lego meeting with my group at 2, so I only have a couple hours. And Beth has a call at 2 as well with her bridesmaids group. They're going to talk about stuff. Interesting. This sort of asymmetricalness is really, I wouldn't say thrilling me, but it's intriguing me. I do like the way this is coming together, though. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Or just like off-centered a little bit. I think the best cockpit design, I really like the ARC 170. Is it the ARC 170? Yeah, it's not the V19. The 170 where the Rio or whatever he is going to be kind of slightly higher up, so he can still see over. But he's in charge of munitions and countermeasures and radar and stuff like that, communications. But also that shows up if you remember the Lost Starfighter. That was kind of the similar situation, but the pilot was like really far removed. Like the pilot was way up in the front, and then Greg was like way far back. It was very cool. I really liked how that worked. And as a kid, I remember thinking it was very unique. Okay. It's a good fit. I wonder if it's just a white Lego, but like lately the lights just seem so bright. I can't really focus on anything else. So you're just gonna have to trust me. That was a good build. I don't like that this is a canopy, because it's not a canopy, it's literally just a cockpit. You have to get your fingernail under here and kind of pull it apart to get a person in there. It's not my ideal thing. But there you go. Yeah, so that's kind of rigid, and I totally, you called it, man. Got a little flick missile thing in here. Which I almost would like just to keep them in there, but not make them flick missiles. Just put a 1x1 stud on it or something. You'll shoot your eye out. So this is the only 2 extra pieces from that. There's not a lot of extra pieces in this one. Alright, so there you have it. There's your T-6 shuttle. Right? In flight mode. And then it rotates to land. And I'm guessing that's what this little thing is for. Right? And that little gear underneath is what keeps it rotating, or keeps it from being slow, or keeps it from just spinning out of control. Offers a little pressure. You can see that rotating under there. Gotta remember to pull the landing gear up when you spin it. So this was always, I really liked this ship in the show. It was a very unique ship. It felt very grand. When the Jedi used it, it was very sort of upright. But I mean, you can even see, I'm going to go to the full camera on this again, because you can see it's not perfectly lined up, right? It's like Lego does its best, but you can tell really from back here how it doesn't line up perfectly. And it does, not only does it not line up perfectly, but the backside doesn't have, I mean, because surely all you have to do is repeat this back here. You know, I mean, the actual ship does have the same markings on both sides. This doesn't. All you have to do is, you know, get creative with some of these wedge plates. It's not a stability thing. This thing isn't that big. But, you know, I mean, it looks cool when it's this angle, right? And it does that. But the ship flies this way, too. And if you fly it like this looks like, I'm not going to say it looks like a child built it, but it doesn't look like a Lego designer built it. That's kind of disappointing. The engine block, however, is really good. I would have covered that last little bit of studs back there with something. Maybe done some, what am I thinking of, those 1x2 cheese slopes, right? Those really wide, like that shape, along here as well. And again, the top side really great, underside completely underdeveloped, right? And I get it, you're supposed to have this down here, but there's no reason you couldn't have some reverse slopes right in here to kind of do the same thing that you've got up here. Just give it a little more symmetry. Because, I mean, it's not the same up top as it is on bottom at all. Could have had, you know, I get it, they needed to put landing gear in there. But I think they did a lot of sacrificing function over form in this case. They had to get the playability. They could have made it slightly bigger, and they could have made it a little more, like just slightly bigger. And also, this could have gone over here too. Like you could have done a pin or a stud for this on this side and have it repeat. So the fact that it doesn't repeat on either side is kind of disappointing. Yeah. I'm going to check my phone real quick. Right, I remember correctly, the 170 is lightly based on the design of B-17, similar to how the Lat Republic gunships. Lats did the same thing too. They had the like elevated kind of sloped canopy where you have a lower sitting pilot and a higher roll Rio in the back. Let's see. But I feel like the entire YouTube channel could be made out of finishing the bottoms of Star Wars aircraft and releasing the instructions. You know what? Let me go look at something. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to see if I have any of these red plates. Because I think we could do that. See how much it would take just to do this. That's what I can do for the last 30 minutes. Break it. Also, tubes. So I have something to show you. This is also the microfighter that I just got the parts for. So that was the surprise at the end of the stream, was the microfighter version of this ship. Yes, it's gray, because they don't make these or this in white. And if they do, they're expensive. This is also why I needed Shock T from this set, because she was the figure in this. And you can see, oh, engine block needs to go like that. Yeah. So you can see the wing rotates, and the engine block and the cockpit do not. So that was really kind of interesting to figure out. Turns out it's really easy. It's just a bar, and then it's stuck in a Technic axle brick, and then there's a Technic pin inside. You can see that there's a pin that goes in between there, and so that offers the friction, and it rotates. And you can see I did the same pattern on both sides. So if I can do it at this size, you can do it on this size. The cockpit's not great, but again, you can see how in the original design, the wings swing over the cockpit, right? See that shape? And you really can't do that with this if there's a minifigure in the way. So I did my best to approximate it. But you still get the idea that that's this ship, right? So I thought it turned out really well. The back end was a little dodgy because it was put together with a bunch of 2x2 round plates, and they weren't holding. There's not a lot of those 2x2 round plates don't have a whole lot of clutch power, so this whole back end was falling apart a lot. So I had to do some work on that. I also might beef this part up a little bit, just put another 2x2 plate in there so it kind of sticks out a little bit more. But I think overall it's a good ship. And this is the second one that I have now that has a rotating wing in the middle of it that doesn't rotate the back end. So pretty proud of it. In the meantime, so this is the original, again, for comparison. Original and microfighter. Oh, funny. I twisted it the other way. Where was that supposed to go? Horizontal? Yeah. So like so. I like it. All right. So that aside. But here's the other problem is now I want to have this in flight on its display stand because I've done all these display stands for them. But I have no idea how to mount this on a display stand. I'm probably just going to put some brackets right here and then like have some trans plates so it sits slightly above it like that. And then just put the plate right here and just see how that goes. All right, so if we look at this. So I mean, all we have to do, first of all, we can get a white plate that size, right? Can we not? Get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not right either. Oh, it's because it's saying 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 by 8 white plate. And then that has to be white. Surely we can get those in white. And then, I mean, the level of it, if I just put these on here in the same place, it actually gives it a little more, it feels more centered. It's still not perfect, but the other thing is, see how this is created with this lip of plates, wedge plates over the top, and it gives it this line right here. There's nothing underneath doing that. So so you have to get a whole slew of white plates on the underside of it just to give it that line. And there's no reason you can't do that. In fact, let me go see if I've got some of those big plates, big wedge plates. So this is the value of being able to just go grab the plates you need immediately. Right, but if you see the show, it actually does fly like this a little bit, right? It does do this. So I would assume that at some point the wings can be, now here's the question though, where do the landing gear come from? Because I think in the show, the landing gear come from the underside. They come from the wings, right? It's got like a couple things right in here, and then it's got something on the side like the wings have a gear that folds out as it lands. So I get that one is the top and one is the bottom, but it just looks underfinished. So I mean, for 20 minutes, hey Sturfers, how's it going? Good morning. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. We are dissecting, and I'm going to change this back to the build camera. We're going to dissect this thing to start, because this, okay, to be honest, this is a grail set of mine. I've wanted this set for a long time. I realize it had shortcomings, but I mean, it's a cool looking model, right? But let's see if we can make it a little better by just adding, and it might make it a little heavier, but I'm willing to sacrifice. Put this guy in here. Also, what did I say this was? 6 by 8? Let me see if I got a 6 by 8 whiteboard. So right off the bat, and I don't know how much this is going to destroy this. It's going to destroy it a lot. Because this is a load-bearing piece right here. But right off the bat, and yes, that piece is a little yellowed. I get it. Well, now I'm all lost. I've ripped it all apart. It's no good. It's all broken. So that goes there. And this goes here. %, improvement already. Alright, so now at least on both sides, you got white on both sides, so that when you add this little bit, and you don't even have to do a whole lot, because it looks like that's got a thing on it, and this one goes all the way up. So I'm not going to try to fix that. But you could probably easily, that's too far out, probably easily get a 2x4 plate right in there. And this isn't a whole lot of work right here. This is just little bitty stuff, right? Like, was there no, I don't understand not having this color plate. If I take this apart, I will definitely soak this in hydrogen peroxide and whiten it up a little bit. Because, I mean, who knows how long I've had it. All right, so then we go up here, and we've got these big old plates. Oh, and that's part of the problem. No, it's not really. So where's that guy? See, now it's a line down the middle. It's not just, so you can see, it's a line. And you can put that there. and then we have to fill it out a little bit back here. But you can see this is not hard to do. And then one more like this. Yeah, I'll have to put another little white plate back there. But see, now it's the same on both sides. There's no reason you can't do that. Don't even need this one. It looks like it stops. Okay? Look at that. We'll have it extend out. That's what we need. Like that. Ta-da! That's not that hard to do. And again, it makes the wing a little more symmetrical when you're looking at it dead on. Maybe they're just trying to keep the piece count down a little bit. Yeah, but that's not hard to do. Gray piece here, gray piece along there. This doesn't have to be flat. That's tiled, and that's one of the major problems I have with sometimes is you get a nice tiled flat surface, and on the other side it's just flat. So you could account for that with a bunch of those boat bottoms, those 2x2 inverted tiles. It would take like 8 of them, and it would make it really heavy along here, but you could do it. So I mean, there's things you could do to make this work. And I feel like a little bit of it is just kind of laziness. Like this is really intricate right in here, and then you flip it over and there's nothing here. So if that's gonna be the reason for it, if you're gonna keep it from being similar, right? Give it some structure underneath it. Don't just have it be flat because it's flat, because you don't want to, I don't know, I'm complaining about it too much. So anyway, let's see if we can fix this other side. It is getting a little heavier with these pieces, and I think that's probably part of the problem. So this is one, how far did that go back? Going all the way back here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, now 12. So this would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's do 10. 2x10 gray. See if I got those. Yeah, the only thing with a toothbrush is if you really want to keep your pieces nice, is a toothbrush will scratch the shine off of it. So I try to avoid. I used to use toothbrushes a lot, but I avoid them now. And so if I just have whites that I want to shine up a little bit, I will literally just put them in a Tupperware with hydrogen peroxide and then put them out in the sun for like a day. Direct sunlight, hydrogen peroxide. Go out and stir it every couple hours or so, just to make sure some pieces get more than others and you're doing it evenly. It does the trick, man, every time. So I am thinking that that it might be the weight, but a couple short on that. Let me go see if I got 2 more of those. I do. Surprising number of these plates. All right. So now the stripe is at least the same on both sides, right? So on this side, we can just get, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Put that one there. Yeah, but it feels, I mean, it still feels solid, so that's good. But now you can see that side and that side. Get another one of these right in here for both sides. And then, yeah, if I can fill this out with boat, or just a couple like 2x4 or 2x something in there, just to give it some girth. Because I don't mind thick wings, right? I think thick wings are fine, as long as they match. It doesn't have to be single plate wings. I mean, it is slightly heavier now, but it doesn't impact the playability. The wings still rotate, right? It still works. The wings themselves are not load bearing on anything. Like, it's not standing on something. It's not sitting here holding something in place. So the fact that you can't have I need a few more of those because there's 2 there, and you need to like do something under there, which I have these little ones. You could put there like that. So I mean, it can be done. Yeah. If I rip this one out, is it going to cause problems? Probably. It seems to come out so nice like that. Then this, and just keep it all in place. Yeah, that one's really gross. I'd almost rather keep it gray. What's up, Mason? What's up, Travis? Yeah, so you missed it. I did this specifically. So right now, I'm tweaking it because I don't like the way that it doesn't have the same look underneath. So I'm adding a bunch of stuff to it to make it similar underneath as it is on top. That's all I'm doing at this point, right? Because they're notoriously bad at, so none of this exists on the top. It exists on the top, and it looks very cool, but when you flip it over, it looks like not a Lego designer did it, right? So I was kind of tweaking it, got rid of these gray plates that lived in here, right? That was gross on either side, replaced them with white plates, added a bunch of these guys to it to mirror, you know. It is a little heavier, but it's all right. So, and yeah, I do have the microfighter version of it. And it actually does rotate the wings with keeping the back half and the front half stable. And yes, it's in gray, but I don't have these round wedge plates in white, and I don't think they make this piece in white. So I want to keep that, but I'm sure I could come up with something else for that underside. And again, I might go back and flesh out this area so it's a little thicker. But yeah. And I might do another little one of these guys like right here to give it that sort of alignment. So it looks like that stripe going down. Micro is better than the big set. I appreciate that. But this was the whole reason I got the big set, is to get Shock T. I had the Clone Wars Obi-Wan set for it, but I didn't have the Shock T. That Shock T is like a $25 figure. So I'm glad I got it. But yeah, now I'm just... Yeah, I mean, this is an old part too. That's an old gray. You can see that's the old light gray. And that's the only one I had. So, I mean, they didn't make a whole lot of them, but I thought they made a whole lot of them for space sets, right? There was a lot of space sets. So now I'm just turning this. So the other side is similar. So that's the actual side, right? And that's the new underside. So it's a little more similar, right? There's some things that I can't really fix that are a little more load bearing, like this thing right here. I could get that in white. Probably just switch that out with white. And then I was talking about the fact that these giant tiles exists. You can 2x2 inverted tile boat bottom things. Just fill that area with that. It is getting a little heavier with all the added plates, but I would rather have a similar looking on both sides ship than not. And I think getting rid of this big old gray piece would go a long way towards doing that. All I had to do was add a few of these red things on this side, add that plate right there, you know, get another one of these right here on this side. So you get that, it's a line, it's a stripe, it's a line, it's not, you know, without this piece right here, there's just a bunch of red back there and it looked gross. I've got an old Blacktron 2 set. Hey, Solo. Hey, Solo, I didn't see you there. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're able to get here in time and it's not 4 in the morning for you whenever I regularly do this. You guys are also just in time for me to sign off, so I appreciate you coming by. I don't think I'm going to be available this coming Thursday. I have a friend who has a birthday. She says she doesn't want to do anything for it, but we're probably going to do something. So I may not be available Thursday. But I will be back following Sunday to probably do some more designing. I don't have any more sets coming in the mail anytime soon. I might do some more part orders for microfighters. But yeah, that's it. So if you're getting here late, I appreciate you being here at all. Thanks for coming in. And if you were here the whole time, Sleepy, thanks for being here the whole time. And if I can do something during the week that's not Thursday, I'll put something out on Instagram or something. But otherwise, I will see you guys later. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.